Kia ora, kia ora tātou katoa. My name's Steve Taylor. I'm from New Zealand. I'm the principal of Knox Centre for Ministry and Leadership. Being from New Zealand, I'm interested in what missiology needs to learn and can learn from Indigenous peoples, from the first peoples of our land, from the Māori people. And I'm particularly interested in how Scripture is used and how they use Scripture as a basis for their living, for their values, to resist the powers of colonisation or the powers of empire. I use a methodology called biography as missiology, biography as theology, in which you look at the life of a person and from their actions and from their words you begin to form a missiological picture of how to live and move. So in 1861, in the Great Britain parliamentary papers, there's a speech by a Māori leader, a man called Whitley Tamihana. The British government has come into the Waikato. The British government are demanding land, and Tamihana rises to speak and to respond. And one of the interesting things about this speech is the way he uses Scripture, and in particular one Scripture, Ephesians 2 in verse 13. Once you are far off, but now you are brought near by the blood of Christ. The Apostle Paul writes this. He writes this trying to think about how Jews should respond to the newcomers, the Gentiles. And so when Tamihana uses it, he is imagining or placing his people as Jews in the story. That we are here, and once you Gentiles, once you the crown, once you the colonizer, once you the settler were far off, but now you are brought near. So we are reading the Bible from where we are, and we are using it to respond and to provide critical commentary and to resist what you want to do in among us. It's interesting that he uses Ephesians. Ephesians is one of the first books that's translated and printed by the missionary when they move to New Zealand. So in 1835, a printing press arrives, and within a month there is a printing press with 2,000 copies of Ephesians. And so there's a sense that Tamihana in his speech against the Crown is using not only the book that the missionary brings, the book that comes from the settler, but he's also using the technology, the printing press, which the settler brings. And then he's reading the Bible for himself, reading it in his own language, and using that back in response to empire. So I use that and I place that alongside the work of Seth Carroll and her work around homemaking. And I'm interested therefore in how these scriptures are being used to make a sense of home for Whitley Tamihana. And what I argue eventually is that his work is a public theology of homemaking, where he takes his world, where he takes where he stands, where he takes how he has been a migrant people originally from the islands and uses that to critically engage and to respond to empire. So these are important resources for us today because we have many pressures as a church. How do we respond to consumerism? How do we respond to public powers and protest? And so what we have here in these resources from people like Whitley Tamihana are some creative ways that Indigenous people have used the Bible to help them find a sense of identity and a sense of place. And so missiology learns from First People, stands in conversation with First Peoples, and draws inspiration and resources in terms of how we can stand today in response to power of empire.